Randall Stevenson is showing a new executive around. He's just introduced him in his office to Leo. And he says, this Leo here is a hard worker. George himself referred him to me. And then he walks along on the tour, and Leo goes to work doing what George told him to. Yeah, he recognized George said the threat to American security that is the Chinese managed AT&T. Leo is one of many documenting that threat and how they might attack or attacking America with. You can be too. Put the numbers of AT&T execs in the backs of 5 and you try to call me with them on speakerphone, and yeah, they hated to see George eat too, those damn Chinese. Colonel South has stolen a lot of mail as part of me not getting a 9/11 Flight 93 check that you calling me up knowing your phone works all the time because you can reach me. They're worried enough about their crimes to alter phone records to cover that up, so you make a video if you call to me. Anyway, South has a whole lot of stolen mail, and he puts Harry right in the center of all those pallets. And he says, I want you to guard this mail. I'm going to get rid of it tomorrow. Make sure no one comes in, takes photos, makes videos, that kind of thing. And as the private is sitting on that pallet of mail, a phone rings in one of the packages, small package, cell phone, small package. And he opens it up, he says, hello, answers the phone. He said, the guy on the other end says, what are you doing stealing my mail? I said, I don't know, you'll have to talk to Colonel South about that. Tommy is a no-arm Chinese fellow. Lost both his arms being blindly obedient, stuck that right arm in the wood chipper because his boss Wu told him to, and lefty the left arm wisely jumped off, leaving him with no arms, but he's bossing a whole lot of folks around. And we're at his office, and Lou, his mistress and also his employee, is picking her nose, and she says, don't go in his office. Tommy's. He's mad as anything. He just saw a video on the internet of a couple of privates defending America on their leave. They were making videos of their hijack call to me with Randall Stevenson and other AT&T executives on speakerphone. And one says to the other in the video, Trump snafu'd big time, not going after AT&T, conducting harassment techniques against a man in a wheelchair. They would have been better off, Trump would have, to park that tank in front of AT&T to prevent them from being so over the top in their harassment techniques. Then he could just duck the questions about why there's a tank on Eagle Rock Boulevard instead of his active involvement and perhaps Putin telling him he can't go after AT&T as his as commander-in-chief. He snafu'd big time, just like Tommy. Yes, he does have Semper Fi. See that phone as every child in America lifeline to the firemen, police, and paramedics, and make a video of it being hijacked. He does have that in the window. Those two, when he calls to me, those Flight 93 checks, for over a decade, they are worried enough about their crimes to alter phone records to cover them up. So get that on video. And remember to call up that general. Call up AT&T's executives as well, or see them in person. Try to call me in front of them, 424-229-4140. They don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check is. After a decade, they're involved, they're incompetent. Take your pick. If true, 9/11 Flight 93 check and post in 5. Make that video of America's hijacked lifelines. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of the children and THRU. And remember, call up AT&T, as well as those generals. Put the numbers on the backs of this 93 check inventory that I've been asking for a 93 check of America's Lifelines for over a decade and have yet to get one. But the numbers on the backs of pipes, AT&T executives, generals, they don't know what a 93 check is, and their phone monopoly or military business means they're involved or they're incompetent. So you call them up, get them on speakerphone, and you try to call me with someone else's phone, as maybe even someone else's phone. Makes that video of the timestamp on your phone, number dial. You inform the general, AT&T, it doesn't matter if phone records are altered. All of America has that crime on video. We've got PhoneGate on video. What's your part in it? Hear a siren. 911, flight 93, check-in, post-in 5. Been asking for 911 flight 93 checks for over a decade. I have yet to get one. That you picking up your phone, calling me, actually reaching me, and knowing that your phone works all the time. Because you can reach me. Political, religious, business censorship is not stopping your phone. Your family's lifeline, America's lifeline. So remember to try and call me, 424-229-4140, when you see that siren, hear that siren, and put the numbers of generals and AT&T on the backs of these pipes. Hand them out. Church, at work, at school, where you live. Tell everyone, try to call Melton. Ask that general, when else will my phone not be allowed to work? Those stealing my call to Melton are worried enough about their crimes to alter phone records to cover them up. Mail as well, guys. Make a video of the mail before you send it too. But general or AT&T executive, when we all got those crimes on video, all America, timestamp on your phone, number dial. But yeah, it's PhoneGate. What's your part in PhoneGate? They don't know what a 93 check of America's Lifelines is. That's after a decade of me asking. Yeah, they're definitely either incompetent or involved. Need new folks in those suits and those boots. They're involved. We need to treat them as traitors. Rebecca is a rape victim. She explains this in her video as she makes a video of Mormons case in her neighborhood where most of her neighbors are not there. She's got the timestamp on her landline. She's making the video with her phone of AT&T's active participation in America's hijacked lifelines, as well as the Mormons. She says, these folks terrify me. They will not take no for an answer. She, of course, doesn't answer the phone, doesn't answer the door when they're out there, but she's coming home with groceries and they're right there. So she makes a video of her phone not being allowed to work as the Mormons case her neighborhood. Called a Mormon rapist. Flight 93 check. Remember to pose. Hear a siren? 911 flight 93. Check and post in 5. You're making a video of your hijack call to me. John Melton Brady. I've been asking for a 911 flight 93 check for over a decade, and I have yet to get one. And all I've gotten from the military is hatred. Generals actively taking part in America's hijacked lifeline. Get them on video left and right. Get everyone in the military weighing in. All you privates. That's your family's hijacked lifeline. Your mom, your dad, your grandma, your kids. They're a hijacked lifeline. You have a right to know why generals know all about 9/11 Flight 93 checks and have done nothing. Yes, he does have. Mormons beware. Semper Fi's in the kitchen. World Trade Center fire engine. See that phone as every child in America? The image. See that phone as every child in America's lifeline? Make a video of being hijacked. I've been asking for over a decade for that first 9/11 Flight 93 check. I've yet to get one. That's a lot of very easily documented censorship, endangering our security as a nation and individuals, families. Make that video of you calling up AT&T, their executives, Randall Stevenson, the CEO, the generals, because they are conducting military-style harassment in many different ways here in Iraq of me, the man who's been asking you to check your lifelines for over a decade. Check and post in 5 in front of them. Abigail lost her husband in Vietnam. She's now the great-grandmother and grandmother of a lot of folks, very large extended family, and she tells all of them, especially those who are in the military. She sends them the numbers of generals and the numbers of, puts them on the backs of these fobs. You can print out from these sites right here. And she calls up every general. And she says, what do you know about me not reaching John Melton Brady? When else will my family's lifeline not be allowed to work because of what you're doing? If the general doesn't know anything about those 93 checks, he says the truth. He's incompetent or he's a traitor. Document that, everyone. Either a helicopter or plane or bird. 9/11 Flight 93, check and post in 5 with AT&T and with generals. In both cases, yes, in the military. If they don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check is, after John Melton Brady have been asking for over a decade. They don't know what one is. They're either incompetent, or they are involved. And if they're involved, they are traitors. Our lifelines are part of our security. They are compromising the security of America by active participation in America's high-tech lifelines. Call them on it. Randall Stevenson, CEO, and generals. Speakerphone or in person, ask them, why can't I reach this man? Demonstrate. See a vapor trail in the sunset? 9/11, Flight 93, check and post in 5. You're trying to call me John Melton Brady. I've been asking for Flight 93 checks of our lifelines here in America for over a decade, and I've yet to get one. Those stealing your calls to me are worried enough about their crimes to alter phone records to cover them up. So get that on video and explain that to the general. Put their numbers on the backs of their 5s. You can download and print as 4x6 photos at follow the link on vote-truth.blogspot.com, as well as AT&T's executives. Ask them, are you involved in this? He's been asking for 93 checks, a whole lot of imagery and videos for over a decade. Are you involved or are you incompetent? Hear a siren. 9/11 Flight 93, check and post in 5. Check your family's lifeline. I'm John Melton Brady. I've been asking you to do that all over America for over a decade now, and I've yet to get the first call. No certified mail about those 93 checks either. That's with a whole lot of imagery and videos. So call up that general or any officer in the military and ask him, what do you know about this? If they don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check is, they're involved or they're incompetent. And yes, if they're involved, they're being traitors. The same for AT&T's officers. Their top. Ask him, why can't I reach this man when else will my phone not be allowed to work? Why are you compromising America's security? In both cases, generals and AT&T. Randall Stevenson is the CEO of AT&T. Why are you compromising America's security? By actively taking part in America's hijacked lifelines, and with him on speakerphone or any of those on speakerphone. You tried to call me, 424-229-4140. Those hijacking your calls to me are word enough about getting caught for their treasonous crimes that they alter phone records to cover it up. Get that on video. You dial the number, whatever boring thing you get. It's AT&T's and Trump's phone gate. See a vapor trail? Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of children and THRU. Make that video of your hijacked call to me, Melton. Not one 9/11 Flight 93 check in over a decade of asking. No certified mail about those 93 checks either. You got the timestamp on your phone? You got the number dialed? Make that video of phone gate. Those stealing your calls to me are worried enough about getting caught for those crimes to alter phone records to cover it up. Get that on video. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of children and THRU. Here is Siren, 9/11 Flight 93, check-in, posting 5. Trying to call me, Melton. You want to know when else your family's lifelines won't be allowed to work? Got the timestamp on your phone? You got the number dialed in your video. And yeah, put AT&T's executives' numbers on the backs of this file, and generals and colonels on the back of this file. If they don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check is, after I've been asking for America to check the lifelines for over a decade, yeah, they're involved or they're incompetent. Get that on video. Helicopter or a vapor trail. 9/11 Flight 93, check-in, posting 5. Make that video. Whatever you get when you don't get me. I've been asking for 9/11 Flight 93 checks for over a decade. Make that video. Whatever boring thing you get, it's not going to be boring if you need the firemen, police, paramedics. And yes, put the numbers of AT&T's executives on the backs of their files. And try to call me up with them on speakerphone. And yes, for the Mormons, active participants in America's hijacked lifelines around me for over a decade, but for the past decade I've been asking for 93 checks for sure. See them case in your neighborhood, make a video of that and your phone not working as they do that. Post. Here is Siren, 9/11 Flight 93, check-in, posting 5. I'm Melton. I've been asking for 93 checks of America's lifelines for over a decade, and I've yet to get one. That's a lot of managed censorship conducted without fear of being covered by the evening news. We the people must be the evening news. Make that video of whatever you get when you don't get me. Oh, the other number is my California Lifeline phone. I don't have it on all the time. It's not the best. But 424-229-4140. Make that video of whatever you get when you don't get me. Post. Those stealing your calls to me are worried enough about their crimes and getting caught for them to alter phone records to cover them up. Get that on video. Phone gate. Siren. 9/11 Flight 93, check-in, posting 5. I'm Melton. John Melton Brady, that's my contact, including my email, with the generals and AT&T. Big Fives here. What do you do with this? I designed the front. Oh, last night they were doing over-the-top harassment. While folks are worried as anything about that, I designed the front. You put the numbers of AT&T executives and Randall Stevenson CEO on down, and generals and colonels on the generals one. You call them up. You try to call me in front of them. You tell them that's a 93 check. Do you know what one is? If they don't know what a 911 Flight 93 check, with me asking for America to check the lifelines for over a decade is, they're either involved or incompetent. They're incompetent, get them out. They're involved, they're traitors. Point that out with a video of them on speakerphone. Your family's lifeline not working. Here is siren. 911. Flight 93 checking posted 5. 424-229-4140. Whatever you get when you don't get me, you get lifeline censorship. Make that video whatever you do get. And post and look for the big fives on vote-truth.blogspot.com. Oh, smaller than this, but 4x6 photos as a big five. Hand them at your church, at work, in your neighborhood. Tell everyone, try to call MELTON and call up those generals and AT&T and ask them, why are you actively taking part in hijacking America's lifelines? They don't know what a 911 Flight 93 check is after a decade of me asking. They're involved or they're incompetent. Get both. They're incompetent, they're a traitor. Abigail's grandchildren are over. And one of them asked, why is there a number in your Bible? He turns it around and it's got a whole bunch of phone numbers on the back. And Abigail says, oh, every day I read from that Bible and I put it into action. Takes the time afterwards to call up a general, call up AT&T executives and ask them, why can't I reach this man by phone? She tries to call me in front of him via speakerphone, makes a video of it. They don't know what a 911 Flight 93 check of America's lifelines is after a decade of me asking. They're involved or they're incompetent. Here's a siren 911 Flight 93 check. Ray is a teacher at a high school. He is also a veteran. And he says that to the recruiters at his high school. And then he tries to call me. Melton, John Melton Brady, 424-229-4140. He says, you're not going to find someone more supportive of the military. But we don't like that direction they are taking conducting war against the American public. Hijack lifelines, military-style harassment techniques with those Mormon cult folks. So he puts the numbers on the backs of those fives and he tells everyone, check and post a 5 with those generals. Here's Spectrum's harassment techniques against a man in a wheelchair and against your family. Make a video if you had that called to me. I'm John Melton Brady. I've been asking for 93 checks for over a decade. I have yet to get one. That's a lot of mass censorship conducted without fear of being covered by the evening news. We the people must be the evening news. To put the numbers of AT&T's executives as well as the generals, colonels on the backs of those fives or any of my 93 check imagery. Hand it out at church, at work, at school, where y'all live. And tell everyone. Call up those executives and generals and try to call Melton in front of them. They don't know what a 93 check is. Educate them and tell them you're either involved in America's hijacked lifelines or incompetent. Which is it? Whichever it is, we need to get them out of those boots and those suits so that folks who can do their jobs without political and religious and business censorship conducted against America. Get someone in who can do the job. AT&T's harassment of a man in a wheelchair, that turns off very easily. They're also harassing your family. Have you had trouble reaching emergency services? In an emergency? Maybe it's your politics. Where you live? Call up Randall Stevens, all execs, and try to call me in front of them via speakerphone or in person. I'm Melton. Yeah, I'm Melton, Brady. Make that video of America's Hijacked Lifelines and ask Randall Stevens, what are you doing? Are you trying to commit a revolution by hijacking America's lifelines? Get his reaction post. Tell him you can alter phone records all you want. You can alter phone records all you want, but we, the people, are getting that phone gate on video, and you're a very active part in it. Your fire engine, see a fire engine, make a video of America's Hijacked Lifelines, 424-229-4140. And say in that video, a fire trumps Hollywood ads for not protecting America from AT&T's compromising of our security. 424-229-4140. And yeah, right there's the address to certify mail to. See, that's mail's got to go somewhere. It's going to Donald Trump's traitor Oliver North, and it is Trump's phone gate because he's not doing the job of protecting America. That's a threat to our security. You not reaching me and not knowing who will not be able to reach who when. We're at a Trump press conference and a reporter says, I have tried to call MELTON over the past 10 years and I had yet to get a hold of him. I wouldn't be a legitimate reporter if I hadn't done that. Make that video, whatever you get when you don't get me. And the reporter goes on to say, we know all about our hijacked lifelines. What I want to know is where all that mail goes. FedEx, UPS included, with the U.S. Postal Service. And Trump says, well, I don't know anything about that. He turns to the general, and the general says, I don't know anything about that. And the general turns to Colonel South, and Colonel South, do you know anything about that? And Colonel South takes off. Right through the reporters, his latch breaks on his briefcase. And there are all kinds of mail to me strewn throughout that crowd. See a plane? Oh, right by the moon there. You can see the moon. Or a bird. Make a video of America's Hijacked Lifelines. Call up generals. Call up AT&T. They are Spectrum conducting, AT&T owned Spectrum conducting harassment, military-style harassment techniques against a man in a wheelchair who has been telling you to check your lifelines for over a decade, and I have yet to get one. Put the numbers of generals on the backs of those big fives. You can find at vote-truth.blogspot.com. And AT&T's executives' numbers too. Tell them your hatred of America needs to go. Are you involved or are you incompetent? And America's lifelines being hijacked for a decade. They don't know they're incompetent. They're involved. They're traitors. If they're active in that, get them on video one way or the other. See a vapor trail? 911, Flight 93, check in, post 10-5, be the reporter. They're not doing their jobs. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of children and truth. Make that video. Whatever you get when you don't get me, Melton. I've been asking for a 911 Flight 93 check for over a decade. That's you picking up your phone actually reaching me when you dial my number. And knowing your phone works all the time. I haven't gotten one 911 Flight 93 check in a decade of asking, with a whole lot of graphic art and videos asking for those 93 checks. So make sure, put the numbers of AT&T's executives on the backs of those fives, and the generals as well, generals and colonels. They don't know about 911 Flight 93 check after I've been asking for over a decade. In their business of phone monopoly or military, yeah, they're involved or they're incompetent. Get that on video. Here is Siren. Get the names and numbers of everything that's ever been with Oliver North, the traitor, and you ask them as you try to call me. 424-229-4140. That includes generals, guys. AT&T as well. When else will my family's lifeline not be allowed to work? And are you, Oliver North, traitor Oliver North, conducting a revolution? Look for the younger members. He's just 75, I just Googled. Younger folks you might know who would be more active in that. Of course, you can be a 100-year-old traitor. Just look at Russell Nelson of the Mormon cult. Check and post 5. Prevent that revolution they are trying to accomplish. Hijacking our lifelines. What's that one? I don't know how those could make sense. I'm looking for this one. I got a bunch of them. Do check and post 5 in front of LAC USC Keck Medical, but yeah. With all the military style harassment techniques coming from AT&T next door. Make sure you put the numbers of generals on the backs of 5s. Numbers of AT&T's executives on the backs of 5s. And when you hear that fire engine, hand whoever's right next to you a 5. What? It's a 4x6 photo, 10, 20 cents, depending on where you shop. I did the front, you do the back, put the numbers of generals and AT&T executives. They don't know what a 911 Flight 93 check is after I've been asking for over a decade. You try to call me with them on speakerphone or them in front of you, and you tell them, are you involved? Are you incompetent? If you're incompetent, we need you out of there. If you're involved, you're compromising the security of America. Which one is it? Here is Siren. Do a 911 Flight 93 Mormon rapist check. Put their numbers on the backs of these 5s. Find them. All Mormons in the world, especially the little old ladies, librarians, the folks actively involved in America's hijacked lifelines. You call them up, put them on speakerphone. You try to call me, Melton, 424-229-4140. Call the Mormon rapist check. We don't like your tactics. Harassing a man in a wheelchair who's been telling America about their 93 checks, about their hijacked lifelines for over a decade. We don't like that. I'm trying to call this man. I don't know when else my phone won't be allowed to work. I don't like your case in my neighborhood. So we're going to call you up and make sure you hand that phone list off to everyone else in America so they can do the same. Hear that siren? 911 Flight 93 check and post 5. Check your family's lifeline. You can't reach me right now. I'm Melton. John Melton Brady. You can't reach me. 424-229-4140. Those hijacking your calls to me for a decade now. Word enough about their treasonous crimes to alter phone records to cover up their crimes. You can't reach me right now. You have no idea when else your phone won't be allowed to work, but you do know it's not going to be news. Same as me asking for a 93 check for over a decade and not getting one, not being news. So call up that general you know, or don't know. Look him up in the internet phone book and ask him about Melton, John Melton Brady, not getting one 911 Flight 93 check in over a decade of asking. General, if you don't know what that is, you're involved or you're incompetent. I'm Melton, son of Carpenter Marion. This is a some of my older stuff, older Gmails, older OneDrives. And yes, I'm working with a laptop because Lord of the Devil, Style of Hatred showed up, and yeah, personal knifing back sister, text, taunted, then broke that computer right over here. So realize all of this stuff, somebody is called street links for a reason. Even those at Google, even those at OneDrive, don't know how many folks have access. Because if anyone blocks, yeah, the streets get them out. Look for them at better bars, parties, military bases, and remember to do that traitor test with Flickr. See a helicopter, 9/11 Flight 93 check. Make a video of America's hijacked lifelines. We are at a presidential press conference, and a reporter asked, does AT&T have a controlling interest in your company? And Trump says, my company is not relevant. This is a presidential press conference. And the reporter follows up, yes, I know that. You are the commander-in-chief, and you are not acting upon AT&T's threat to American security. Let me demonstrate. And he tries to call me, John Melton Brady Melton, 424-229-4140. When else will our lifelines not be allowed to work? But their numbers on the backs of 5, so you can call them up, AT&T's execs, and ask them if they're conducting a revolution. 5. Defend America from AT&T's compromising our security by your hijacked lifeline. 424-229-4140. Call me up in front of Randall Stevenson via speakerphone. All of AT&T's executives, and get that on video. Phone game. Doesn't matter how many phone records you can alter, Randall. America has your threat to our security on video. Timestamp on your phone, number dialed. Whatever boring thing you get when you don't get me, you get phone game. Trump's phone game. He doesn't want to do his job as commander-in-chief. Maybe they can find something else for him to do. See a vapor trail? Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of children and truth. Make a video of America's hijacked lifelines. Certified mail to me as well. Not one bit of Flight 93 check mail in the decade, over a decade. I have not gotten a 9/11 Flight 93 check. Those stealing your calls to me are worried enough about getting caught for their crimes to alter phone records to cover up their crimes. So make that video. You got the timestamp on your phone. You got numbers, the number dialed. Make that video of whatever you get. When you don't get me, post. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of children and truth. Here is siren, 9/11 Flight 93, check and post in 5. All soldiers, you protect America. Make a video of the military bases phone as you try to call me. Not one 9/11 Flight 93 check in a decade of asking. Put the numbers of AT&T's executives and generals and colonels of the military on the backs of any of my 93 check imagery. But yeah, these 5s in particular for AT&T and the general. And put them on speakerphone. Call them up, put them on speakerphone. You try to call me with them on speakerphone. You tell them it doesn't matter how many phone records get altered by dangerous folks compromising the security of America. It doesn't matter how many get altered. All of America has the timestamp on your phone. Number dialed. General, are you involved? Are you incompetent? Yes, he does have. Semper Fi. See, that phone is every child in America's lifeline to the firemen and police and paramedics, and make a video of being hijacked. And remember to call up all generals and ask them, do you know anything about MELTON? John Melton Brady asking for 9/11 Flight 93 checks of America's lifelines for over a decade and not getting one. If they don't know what that is, those generals, those colonels, AT&T executives, they are involved in America's hijacked lifelines, or they are incompetent. They're incompetent. We don't need them where they are at. They're involved. They are traitors. Make a video of that. I've noticed something. The Mormon cult from the apartment down below with their Muslim brothers as well on hand at this apartment complex, as well as Spectrum, which is AT&T. I didn't know that last year when I was making all those Spectrum, about their louder than usual with my insulin poisoning harassment techniques. But I noticed something besides that. Coordination, military style coordination of harassment techniques. I noticed, the Devil Lori, I'm pretty sure that's her number, my personal knife in the back, because it called to taunt on when I'm in Skid Row in my manual wheelchair before I got gold here, and texted today as part of ever increasing harassment techniques. Here is Siren, 9/11 Flight 93, checking posting 5. You're trying to call me, Melton. You want to know why America's lifelines are being hijacked as you do. Now this parable is said a couple years ago, and Colonel South is showing someone through a huge warehouse, and that someone says, oh, let me get this right. Mail for Melton, telling everyone all about America's hijacked lifelines is coming in from all over America to him, and you steal it and you put it in this central warehouse. And Colonel South says, yeah. And Trump says, well, I've got a lot of competitors with my casinos and hotels. Can you do the same with them? Trying to steal my business. And he says, oh, sure, you can do whatever you want. You can start a war. You can build the Great Wall of China in America if you want. Hear a siren? Let it be a reminder to check your family's lifeline in front of via speakerphone or physically in front of AT&T's execs. Ask them, why can't I reach Mr. Brady, John Melton Brady? 424-229-4140. They don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check that you trying to call me. And if you can't reach me, you have no idea when else your phone won't be allowed to work. They don't know what one is. Executives of AT&T, or even generals, yes. They don't know. They're involved, or they're incompetent, guys. They're incompetent. They don't need to be in that position. They're involved. They're traitors. Get them on video being traitors. Gloria pulls her curtains aside and she makes a video with her phone of her landline, her business line. She works from her home. She makes a video of those Mormon cult folks casing her neighborhood and her trying to call me. Not one 9/11 Flight 93 checking over a decade of asking. She says, as she makes the video, these cult members terrify me. I don't answer the door, of course, but I can be coming home with some groceries. And we all know they will not take no for an answer. So she makes that video of the Mormons casing a mostly empty neighborhood. Most of her neighbors are working, not at home. Makes a video of the Mormons casing her neighborhood and her phone, her lifeline, not working. She also calls up AT&T and asks them what their part is in that. Remember, when you hear that siren, 911, Flight 93, checking post in 5. I'm Mel, and I have yet to get that first 911 Flight 93 check. That's you picking up your phone knowing it works all the time. Because you can reach me right now. Make that video, post that video right now, and yes, call up AT&T's CEO, Randall Stevenson, or is it Russell? Randall, I think. And you try to call me in front of him via speakerphone or in person. Same for generals. If they don't know what a 911 Flight 93 check is, after I've been asking for a decade and they have yet to get one, they are involved or they're incompetent. Get that on video. Minutes. That's all it takes to check and post in 5. Make a video if you had that call to me. I'm Melton. I haven't gotten one 911 Flight 93 check. That's you pick up your phone knowing it works all the time, because you can reach me right now. Me not getting a 911 Flight 93 check of America's Lifeline's over a decade, and that not being news, that tells you that whatever political and religious censorship is going on that's stopping your lifeline. If it stops your lifeline when you need firemen, police, paramedics, it's going to be just as newsworthy. We the people must be the reporters. They're not doing the job. So you take 5 minutes and make that video if you hijack call to me. Then you certify your mail to me. And you say that crook Trump, crook the general, stole my mail. Make a video of it first. It's going to be stolen. Come see me in person. 911 Flight 93 checking post at 5. Right now, whatever you're doing, whoever's in the room there with you, make that video of their family's lifeline not working as you tried to call me, and put the numbers of AT&T's executives on the backs of these 5s. They're 4x6 photos. Find them at vote-truth.blogspot.com there. Print them out, call them up, put them on speakerphone, AT&T's executives, and you try to call me with them on speakerphone. And you tell them, Randall Stevenson, CEO on down. You can alter all the phone records you want. You've got PhoneGate, their PhoneGate on video, AT&T's PhoneGate. Timestamp on your phone, number dial. Not one 911 Flight 93 check in a decade of asking. Protect America, make a video. They're hijacking of our lifelines and jeopardizing our security. AT&T. 424-229-4140. Try to call me right now, make a video, whatever you get. When you don't get me, melt. Post. Yes, he does have Semper Fi. See that phone as every child in America's lifeline? And make a video of it being hijacked as you try to call Melton. That's me. That's my number, 424-229-4140. The other number is my California Lifeline phone. Yeah, I got it because I'm, poor. And in the wheelchair. It's a free phone. Make a video of your hijack call to both. They both got call logs. And yeah, try to call me up in front of generals and AT&T executives and ask them. This man's been asking for 93 checks for over a decade. He has yet to get one. They're either involved in that or they're incompetent. Either way, get it on video. Post. You trying to call me in front of them. Your call being hijacked, you making a video of PhoneGate. Those worried enough about their crimes to alter videos. To alter phone records. Oh, they alter videos too. Hear a siren in Dallas, Texas, or any city that AT&T is compromising the security of America. Any city in America. Make that video of your hijack call to me, 424-229-4140. I'm Melton. John Melton Brady. I've yet to get a 9/11 Flight 93 check image call with a whole lot of imagery, a whole lot of videos asking for that 9/11 Flight 93 check. You got the timestamp on your phone, you got the number dialed, and ask. I hear they got a big headquarters in AT&T in Dallas, Texas. The reason I mentioned the city. Ask Randall Stevenson, when else will your family's lifeline not be allowed to work because of his political, religious, and business censorship? Why is he compromising the security of America by hijacking America's lifelines? Get his reaction and post. See a paper trip or a helicopter. 9/11 Flight 93 check and post in 5. You're trying to call me, Melton, and you want to know why America's lifelines are being hijacked in such a very obvious, over-the-top way, compromising our security as a nation, as families, as individuals. See that phone you're making a video of as you try to call me? As every child in America's lifeline to the firemen, the police, paramedics, and make a video of it being hijacked. And yes, if Randall Stevenson, AT&T's CEO, doesn't know anything about 93 checks after I've been asking for over a decade, yeah, AT&T's involved or they're incompetent. What are they planning? A revolution? And invasion? Tell them whatever they have in mind. Doesn't matter how many phone records you alter. All of America has PhoneGate. AT&T's PhoneGate on video. Hear that siren? It's a fire engine. Whether it's an ambulance, whether it's a police car, you hear that siren? You make a video of your phone not working as you try to call me. I'm Melton, John Melton Brady, and I've been asking for 93 checks, 9/11 Flight 93 checks, for over a decade. I have yet to get one. That's a lot of mass censorship conducted without fear of being covered by the evening news, and it is why AT&T is going all out with their company, Spectrum, next door, conducting harassment techniques against me, a man in a wheelchair. Call up Randall Stevenson and ask him, why are you doing that? He doesn't know about my imagery and videos about censorship. He's involved or incompetent. Hear a siren. 9/11 Flight 93 check-in post in 5. Whatever you get when you don't get me, make a video. Those stealing your mail to me, those stealing your calls to me, those hijacking your emails to me. You want to know why I'm still around with all that? Decade of not getting one 9/11 Flight 93 check? My work comes from the top. All those in the way of it are on their way to a very well-deserved hell. Make that video of America's hijacked lifelines, and yes, put AT&T's and the general's numbers on the backs of these files. Call me up with them on speakerphone or in front of you and ask them what's your part in that. So they don't know what a 93 check is, they're involved or they're incompetent. Here is Siren. 911 Flight 93, check and post in 5. You're trying to call me? I've been asking for 911 Flight 93 checks of America's Lifelines for over a decade. Those stealing your calls to me, and you don't know when else they're going to be doing that for political, religious, business reasons. They're worried enough about their crimes to alter phone records covering up those crimes, those treasonous crimes. Put the numbers of generals, colonels, any officers on the backs of those General 5s there, and AT&T executives on the backs of these 5s. They don't know what a 911 Flight 93 check is after I put out a decade of 93 check imagery and videos and still have yet to get that first call or any mail about the 93 checks. They are involved or they're incompetent. Get them on video, on speakerphone as you try to call me, and find out which that is. Either way, we need to put new faces in those boots and those suits. Do that. See a vapor trail? Here, AT&T phone monopolies military-style harassment of a man telling you to check your family's lifeline for over a decade without getting one 911 Flight 93 check call or any mail about those 93 checks or any of my other imagery. See that vapor trail? 911 Flight 93 check and post in 5. Put the numbers of AT&T's CEO Randall Stevenson and other executives of AT&T on the backs of the 5s I'm going to show you, as well as generals. They don't know what a 911 Flight 93 check is. They are compromising America's security. You educate them as to what one is. Dangerous folks altering phone records to cover up their crimes. Can't do anything about millions of Americans making videos at the timestamp on your phone, the number dialed random. Are you involved or are you incompetent? Siren 911 Flight 93 check and post in 5. 424-229-4140. Certified mail if you want. There's my address, 4260 Eagle Rock Boulevard, apartment 409, Los Angeles, California 90065. Certified mail if you want. But it takes just 5 minutes to make that video of your hijacked lifelines every time you hear a siren. And yes, look for these at vote-truth.blogspot.com among others. AT&T has 150 million subscribers. If you're one of them, check your lifeline right now by trying to call me, 424-229-4140. Put the numbers of AT&T executives and generals, colonels. Find out who's involved in America's hijacked lifelines by putting them on speakerphone and trying to call me. 424-229-4140. They don't know what a 911 Flight 93 check is after I haven't gotten one for over a decade of asking with a whole lot of graphic art and videos. They are involved, they're incompetent. We need new folks in their boots, in their suits, because they're compromising America's security. Point that out with a simple video of your hijack call to me and Randall Stevenson and any general's reaction to that. Here is Ivan, 911 Flight 93 check and post in 5. Especially if you have AT&T's phone, your lifeline. Oh, that's them. They bought out Spectrum to harass a man in a wheelchair. Me, who's been telling y'all about America's hijacked lifelines for over a decade without getting one 911 Flight 93 check. Certify your mail as well. It takes just 5 minutes to make that video. Whoever's in the room there with you, their phone not working, and you turn around, make the video of yours. Those stealing your calls to me, worried enough about their crimes to alter phone records, among other things, to cover them up. Inform that general when you put the numbers on the backs of 5s. That AT&T executive, doesn't matter. We've got phone gate on our video. Timestamp on the phone, number dialed. Hear a siren? Remember to ask all generals, all colonels, what they know about your family's lifeline not working. Tell them you know about John Milton Brady asking for 9/11 Flight 93 checks for over a decade and not getting one. And you can make a video of America's hijacked lifelines, your family's hijacked lifelines, and those dangerous traitors hijacking America's lifelines are worried enough about the crimes to alter phone records covered up, but you can get that on video. And you want to know if those generals are involved in America's hijacked lifelines or just incredibly incompetent. Semper Fi, check and post in 5. Here is Cyber 9/11 Flight 93, check and post in 5. You're trying to call me Melton? I've been asking for America to check the lifelines for over a decade. I've yet to get one. That's with a whole lot of 93 check imagery over the decade. So you put the numbers of generals and AT&T executives on the backs of 5s. That's AT&T's harassment noise for a man in a wheelchair. Also harassing you because that's your family's lifeline not working, and they're that phone monopoly with 150 million subscribers. So you try to call me with the generals and with AT&T on speakerphone, and you ask them, are you involved or are you incompetent in Melton not getting one 9/11 Flight 93 check, no certified mail in that time, no non-certified mail, no FedEx, no UPS. Are you involved or are you incompetent in the hijacking America's lifelines, either in the phone monopoly business or the general business? They don't know about that. You educate them by trying to call me with your family's lifeline, with them on speakerphone. Get their opinion, their position on dangerous censorship that compromises America's security. Post. Do you want to know why you should try to call me Melton? With every Mormon and every AT&T executive on speakerphone? For your family. The Mormons are casing your neighborhoods when you're at work, and the only one home are your kids after school. And AT&T, try to call me with your child's lifeline right now. 424-229-4140. Not one 9/11 Flight 93 check in over a decade of asking. That boring thing you get when you try to call me is censorship. It's not going to be boring when you need the firemen, police, paramedics, and you get that. So make a video of AT&T's and the Mormons phone gate. Semper Fi, aim high, fly fi, win. This we will defend. Protect America from the Mormons and AT&T. The Flickr is still taunting a man in a wheelchair and doing more than just being fraudulent in their business practices. So Dan McCaskill and all Flickr employees put their numbers on the backs of 5s if nothing else and tell them, call them up. Put them on speakerphone. You try to call me in front of them. Ask them, why are you traitors to your country? Why are you actively taking part in America's hijacked lifelines? Get McCaskill's response, other employees, and post. And come see me in person and tell me about a decent place to post my graphic art photos too, because Flickr has become a rock chucker. Hear a siren, let it remind you about that AT&T 5 and that General 5 that has the numbers of generals and AT&T executives on the backs of them. And yeah, there are going to be a lot of these as well. The devil lorries taunting and worry. So make that video. Devil lorry is my personal knife in the back sister. attempting to break another computer. 911 plate 93, checking post in 5. Make that, oh, you got that number. Make that video of America's hijack lifelines. Generals don't know what a 93 check is, they're traitors. See a helicopter? 911, flight 93, checking post in 5. For your kids. That's their lifeline. Especially if you're one of the 150 million subscribers to AT&T. You ask them, as you have their executives on speakerphone. You ask them, why can't I reach MELTON? When else will your political, religious, and business censorship be stopping my lifeline? AT&T. Oh, AT&T uses spectrum next door to conduct harassment techniques. Noise harassment. All you need to know about is your phone not working as you try to call me, and those who are hijacking your calls to me are worried enough about getting caught for their crimes to alter phone records to cover them up. Get that on video. See a helicopter? 911 flight 93, checking post in 5. Trying to call me? You want to know why America's lifeline's being hijacked when you do? And yes, helicopters check on stuff. They say, do you know he's got Semper Fi? See that phone you're making a video of being hijacked as you try to call me, Melton? See that phone is every child in America's lifeline to the fireman, police, paramedic. Make a video of it being hijacked. And he's also got Mormons beware in his window. And the other helicopter be them private police or military. They go up there getting a nice 93 check video, and they say, yes, he does have that in his window. See a helicopter? Look, black and white. Hear a siren? Remember to hand out those numbers of all Mormons. From the little old lady genealogy ones to the ones literally in and out of the apartment down below. On a revolving basis, hour to hour sometimes. Hand out those numbers and you try to call them. Same as with AT&T executives. You call them, you put them on speakerphone, you try to call me. John Melton Brady, 91911 flight 93, checking a decade of asking, as the Mormons have been a constant around me. Oh, with the Mormons, you call it a Mormon rapist check. You don't know why they're casing your neighborhoods, but you don't like the fact that your phone doesn't work. What do you know about that, librarian? Here, AT&T conducting harassment techniques, military-style harassment techniques. In your city, make a video of that. 424-229-4140. That's harassment of your family's lifeline. Make that video, not 1911 flight 93 check of America's lifeline's in over a decade of asking. No certified mail, no non-certified mail. No FedEx, no UPS. You're going to send me mail, make a video first, it's going to be stolen. It's part of Trump's phone gate, AT&T's phone gate. So make that video, post that video. Timestamp on your phone, number dialed, and if you got AT&T executives on speakerphone, you tell them. It doesn't matter how many phone records you alter. All of America's got phone gate on video. Timestamp on your phone, number dial. See a helicopter? See if your family's lifeline is part of AT&T's revolution. Their attempt to overthrow the government. Sound like a conspiracy theory? No, it's fact. Make that video of your hijack call to me, Melton. 424-229-4140, not 1911 Flight 93, check in a decade of asking. You call up Randall Stevenson, CEO of AT&T. All executives, you call up generals. Put their numbers on the backs of their fives. I just made a nice find at vote-truth.blogspot.com. Big five for both of them. Put their numbers on the backs of those fives. Call them up. Say, are you involved or are you incompetent? And America's Lifeline's not reaching Melton with a 93 taking over a decade. Here are AT&T's. Oh, here a siren. Do a Flight 93 check. 424-229-4140. Here AT&T's harassment. Got both in there. Make that video. Oh, you calling up AT&T's execs and generals. And yeah, let me see if I can get it in real quick. An AT&T technician has just put a phone in. And Gail says, will I be able to talk to everybody with this phone? And the technician says, well, everyone but whoever's on our harassment list. And she said, she's a reporter. She says, can I get that list? And yeah, he says, yeah, I guess you're on that list too. See a vapor trail? Just after a sunset. 911 Flight 93 checking posting 5. Make that video whatever you get when you don't get me, Melton. John Melton Brady. Certify your mail to me as well. Use FedEx or use UPS. But it takes just 5 minutes to make that video of your hijack call to me. Not 1911 Flight 93 check call in over a decade of asking. No certified mail. No non-certified mail about those 93 checks. Make that video of the mail if you're going to send it to me. And yeah, make that video and post that video. We the people must be the reporters. They're not doing their jobs. Siren. Assemble and hand out. A general, big fives, AT&T, big fives, and all others with the numbers of executives and generals and colonels on the backs. And you try to call me with your family's lifeline while you've got them on speakerphone. With another phone, make a video of whatever they say. About 9/11 Flight 93 checks imagery and me asking for 93 checks for over a decade and not getting one. They're either involved in that or they are traitors. Get that on video, whichever their answer is. They're involved in that, they are traitors, or they're incompetent. Excuse me. Get them on video answering that question one way or the other. See a plane? Or a helicopter. Can't really see, it's dark. 911 Flight 93 checking posting 5. Trying to call me, you want to know why AT&T is so active in our hijack lifelines. You hear that commercial of theirs? Spectrum taunting someone? Make sure you put them on speakerphone as you try to call me. AT&T executives. Make the video, post the video. Whatever you get when you don't get me, tell them. Explain to Randall Stevenson. You can alter all the phone records you want. All of America's got your AT&T's phone gate on video. Do that for the Mormons as well. And all generals and colonels. Get them on the video. On the speakerphone, get it in your video of America's High-Tech Lifelines post. Trump is in the Oval Office, and he's in the mood. General's there too. Says everybody is talking about that son of a bitch. Oh, they always get that wrong. It's son of a carpenter and Mary. Dad, the carpenter, worked on skyscrapers. Mom, Marianne, I'm the son of a carpenter, Mary. I get to tell parables. I tell you a whole lot of truth, like your lifeline's being censored. Try to call me. 424-229-4140. Make a video, whatever you get when you don't get me, certified mail as well. It gets stolen. And Trump goes on to say, everybody's talking about their stolen mail, their stolen calls, they're making videos of it, the reporters are talking about it, the senators. Even Putin knows about this guy. And he's all the way over there in Russia. And the general says, you know, you talked to Putin? And he said, no. Okay, Holly and Charlie M are casing the neighborhood where nobody's there, reaching their hands into the mailbox to stealing mail, that kind of thing. And two cops have pulled over and investigating their gray car as a suspicious vehicle. And they come back to their cars, the Mormon cult missionaries, and they say, why are you hassling us? We're just trying to promote our religion. And the cop says, well, so were Jim Jones and Charles Manson. Why are you all wearing ski masks? Do those Mormon rapists, Mormon crime spree, Mormon mail theft, whatever you want to call it, you see them casing your neighborhood, make a video of them outside, and your phone not working as you try to call me. 424-229-4140. Certified mail as well. Make a video of AT&T's obvious harassment. Well, it'd be bad enough just this close to an apartment complex, but yes, they're harassing a man in a wheelchair, and that's your lifeline I'm telling you about. That's high-tech. Try to call me right now, 424-229-4140. Make that video, post that video, whatever you get when you don't get me, with AT&T on speakerphone. Tell them you can alter phone records all you want. All of America has AT&T's and Trump's phone gate on video. Timestamp on your phone, number dialed. Ask them why they are compromising America's security with their 150 million subscribers. Are you attempting a revolution, AT&T? Is that why you're going after the means of communication? Remember to certify your mail as well, and put the colonels and generals on the backs of those flags for them. Try to call me. All good cops, all firemen, all soldiers who protect America. Make a video of you trying to call me with AT&T on speakerphone. All priests as well. See a helicopter? 9/11 Flight 93 checking post and 5. I'm Melton, John Melton Brady. I've been asking for 9/11 Flight 93 checks of America's Lifelines for over a decade. That's you picking up your phone, calling me with that check, actually reaching me, and knowing that your phone's allowed to work all the time because of that. Can't reach me, have no idea when else your phone won't be allowed to work, or why AT&T conducting that harassment they can easily turn off. Their Spectrum, they own Spectrum, a small company of theirs. You have no idea when else that phone won't be allowed to work, so you get that executive of AT&T, you'll get a few military generals and colonels and ask them, what do you know about this? If they don't know about John Melton Brady asking for 9/11 Flight 93 checks for over a decade and not getting one, they're either involved or they're incompetent. Get it on video. I am Melton, son of a carpenter and Mary. Dad, a carpenter, worked on skyscrapers. Mom, Marianne. I'm the son of a carpenter, Mary. I get to tell parables. And I also do a little graphic art. Make that video of your stolen call to me. 424-229-4140.
Not one 9/11 Flight 93 check in over a decade of asking. That's a lot of censorship affecting our lifelines that needs to stop. Come see me in person, 4260 Eagle Rock Boulevard, apartment 409, Los Angeles, California, 90065. The way around censorship.
Here is Siren 911 Flight 93, check 424-229-4140. Oh, they're a little late. Hear that siren? 911 Flight 93, check and post in 5, 424-229-4140. Few seconds more, you've been in my 2 minute, 3 minute. Make that video a spectrum being traitors and connections to military folks being traitors. And of course, connections to that cult in Utah being traitors. Get them on video, post. Suppose that Lori-like character I see every day from Spectrum. 911 Flight 93, check and post in 5. Not one 911 Flight 93 check in over a decade of asking, guys. Make that video. All soldiers, you protect America. Make a video of the military bases phone as you try to call me. Tell your families, put that general, that colonel, conducting open war on American public, the American public, with hijacked lifeline. Tell your families to try to call Melton with that general, that AT&T executive on speakerphone. They don't know what a 911 Flight 93 check is after over a decade of me asking for 93 checks with imagery and videos. They are involved or they're incompetent. We need to get them out of those suits, out of those boots, get folks in there who aren't treasonous. Siren, 911 Flight 93, check and post in 5. You're making a video of America's hijacked lifelines. You got the timestamp on your phone, you got the number dialed. And yes, the fives are in the other room, but make sure you put the numbers of AT&T executives on the backs of those fives. They're 4x6 photos, print them out. And call up Randall Stevenson on down, AT&T executive, and tell him it doesn't matter how many phone records you alter, Randall. America has PhoneGate on video. You got the timestamp on your phone, you got the number dial. You've got AT&T's PhoneGate. Dangerous invasion they're planning, revolution. I can't think of any other reason they would be so over the top hijacking America's lifelines. Make a video, post a video. Whatever you get when you don't get me, tell Randall. You've got it on video. It doesn't do you much good to alter phone records. Post. Here is Siren, 911 Flight 93, check and post in 5. You're trying to call me, Melton. You got the timestamp on your phone, you got the number dialed. My number. Those worried enough about stealing your calls to me for over a decade, they are worried enough about those crimes to alter phone records, cover them up. So you get that on video. And yes, call up the general, call up AT&T executives, and you try to call me. Every time you hear that siren, let that be a reminder to do that. Put their numbers on the backs of those fives. Four by 6 photos, 10, 20 cents. Depends on where you shot. Call them up and try to call me in front of them via speakerphone. Ask him what's your part in America's hijacked lifelines. When else will my phone not be allowed to work? Doesn't matter that they're altering phone records to cover up crimes. All over America is getting that on video. Do that. Come see me in person. Have We'll Travel and tell them you're making a video of Trump's phone game. See a helicopter. 9/11. Flight 93. Check-in post and 5. You're making a video of America's hijacked lifelines. I've been asking for 93 checks for over a decade. I've yet to get one. Make that video. Oh, I've been asking with a lot of graphic art, a lot of videos, and still none. Takes just 5 minutes. Check and post in 5 to make a video of whoever's in the room there with you, their phone not working as you try to call me. Turn around, let them make the video of your phone. Those stealing your calls to me, worried enough about their crimes to alter phone records to cover it up. Get PhoneGate on video. Then you put the numbers of AT&T and executives and generals on the backs of those 5 as well. Ask them, why can't I reach Melton? Do a Mormon rapist Flight 93 check with every Mormon there is. Get their numbers. They are attacking America. They are casing our neighborhoods. They're harassing me, a man in a wheelchair, because I've been telling you for over a decade about your very easily documented hijacked lifeline. And you know I'm not the only handicapped individual they are harassing. They're harassing you. They interrupt that dinner. So you put their numbers on the backs of 5, you call them up, put them on speakerphone, and you try to call me. And you tell them it's a Mormon rapist check. We don't know what you're doing in our empty neighborhoods, but you're planning something. We're calling this a Mormon rapist test. We got a timestamp on your phone. We got the number dialed. What's your part in my phone not working? Utah. Mormon code. What's your part? I got timestamp on the phone. I got the number dialed. It gets altered. What is your part in PhoneGate? Mormon code. A vapor trail. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of children and truth. Make a video right now of whoever's in that room there with you. Their lifeline, their family's lifeline, not working with political, religious, business censorship because of AT&T's very active participation, for one. Yes, see, that phone is every child in America's lifeline to the firemen, police, paramedics. Make a video of it. Timestamp on your phone, number dialed. And yeah, find AT&T's executives' numbers, including Randall Stevenson, the CEO. Put them on those 5s, call them up, put them on speakerphone, try to call me, tell them it doesn't matter how many phone records you alter. America has AT&T's PhoneGate on video. Yes, he does have. I can see it up there. He does have. Mormons beware. And Semper Fi, make that video of America's hijacked lifelines and dangerous folks taking part in that activity. Oh, it's black and white. In case you can't see it, it's right about there. Make that video, 424-229-4140. Whatever you get when you don't get me, Melton, John Melton Brady. That's some dangerous folks. Hijacking America's lifelines, stealing mail as well. That's easily documented. And we must stop them from doing that. Our security depends on it. 424-229-4140, 911 Flight 93 check in a decade of asking. No certified mail, no non-certified mail, no FedEx, no UPS. Certify that mail, make a video of it first. Before you send it. And yeah, it takes 5 minutes to make the video of America's hijacked lifelines. Got the timestamp on your phone, you got the number dialed, and those stealing your calls to me are worried enough about getting caught for their crimes despite their position that they are altering phone records covered up. Get Hussein's, Trump's, the Mormons, and that rogue general's phone gate on video. Post. Hear a siren. 911 Flight 93 checking post in 5. Whatever you get when you don't get me. See that phone as every child in America's lifeline? To the firemen, police, paramedics, what you're making a video of. Those stealing your calls to me are worried enough about their crimes to alter phone records to cover them up. So get that on video. 911 Flight 93 check and post in 5. Get Hussein's, Trump's, AT&T's, and the generals. Phone gate on video. Any of those folks don't know what a 911 Flight 93 check is after I've been asking for over a decade? They're involved, they're incompetent. Hear a siren. 911 Flight 93 check and post in 5. Remember to put the numbers of generals and the numbers of AT&T executives on the backs of their 5s and hand them out when you hear that siren. Not one 911 Flight 93 checking over a decade of asking. I'm Melton. Telling you about that. America's hijacked lifelines for over a decade. Not getting one. Make that video of whatever you get when you don't get me and hand out those 5s with those generals' numbers. Call them up in front of them or via speakerphone. You try to call me. AT&T execs as well. And their business, phone monopoly or military, if they don't know about me and all that 93 check, it's some of my other imagery, 93 check stuff over the years, they don't know about that, they are involved or they are incompetent. Either way, that's not a good thing. Get them on video telling you which they are, involved or incompetent. Post. And when you hear that siren, hand out those 5. Tell everyone else to be the reporter as well. Hear a siren. 911 Flight 93 checking post in 5. I'm Melton. John Melton Brady. I've been asking you to check your lifelines for over a decade. I have yet to get one. That's you picking up your phone, calling me. 424-229-4140 and actually reaching me. Not one 911 Flight 93 checking over a decade of asking. Yeah, you can reach me. You know your phone works all the time. Well, I guess you don't, but when you can't reach me, it definitely means censorship, political, religious, business censorship, lifeline censorship is affecting your phone. Put the numbers of AT&T's executives on the backs of their 5s here, 4x6 photo, and try to call me with them on speakerphone. Hand it out at church, at work, at school. Tell them we got phone gate on video. Doesn't matter how much you alter the phone records. Hear a siren. 911 Flight 93 check in post in 5. Make that video of America's hijacked lifelines and call up AT&T, especially if you're one of their 150 million subscribers, meaning you pay them money to provide your family with a lifeline. And I'll show you the 5 I'm working on. Every time you hear that backup noise, decibel law-breaking fleet of spectrum, that's AT&T. Work in progress here, but yes. Ask them why they're hijacking your call to me, Melton. 424-229-4140. Randall, Stevenson, and other executives. And when else your phone won't be allowed to work? Why they're conducting harassment techniques against the man in a wheelchair. Get your reaction. Post. Be the reporter. Hear a siren as Mormons are on site bitch slapping LAPD. Make that video of America's hijacked lifelines. You're trying to call me Melton, John Melton Brady. And I have yet to get a 9/11 Flight 93 check in a decade of asking. So I hear a lot of LA cops are calling up generals and AT&T and getting that on video. Why can't I reach this man? When else will my phone not be allowed to work? But, you know, doesn't do much for their reputation, being bitch slapped by rock chuckers, as they refer to the Mormons, the Mormon cult. Rather accurately, I might add. See a helicopter? Document AT&T. Threat to American security. I've been asking for a 9/11 Flight 93 check for over a decade, and AT&T has gotten to the point where, yeah, they bought out Spectrum and using Spectrum to harass a man in a wheelchair, as well as 4 different apartment complexes to do so. Make that video of you calling up Randall Stevenson, the CEO of AT&T, and all executives, and ask him, why isn't my phone working? This is my wife's phone, my friend's phone, daughter's phone. 424-229-4140. Not one 9/11 Flight 93 check in a decade of asking, guys. Make that video of whatever you get when you don't get me. Tell everyone else to make that video too, in front of Randall. Here is Siren. Make a video of America's hijacked lifelines. Whatever boring thing you get when you don't get me, Melton. 424-229-4140. It's not going to be boring if you need the firemen, police, paramedics, so get it on video. Timestamp on your phone, number dialed, whatever you get. When you get that calling up countless other customers, that's your Gates livelihood. So get it on video. And yeah, get truth out there. Tell everyone about their hijacked lifelines. Make that video if you call to AT&T. They handle 150 million phones. So ask them why yours is not working as you try to call me. Get it on video. And when else it won't be allowed to work. Those altering phone records worried about their crimes tells you something. Certified mail as well, it gets stolen. Make a video of it first. FedEx, UPS, any private carrier. Phone gate, have it on your phone in a video of someone else's phone being hijacked. We got to take America back. Hear a siren? Call up AT&T with their 150 million subscribers that you pay good money to them to have your family's lifeline. That should be working all the time. Make that video of your hijack call to me in front of them in person or in front of them via speakerphone. 424-229-4140. There's the address to certified mail to. You ask AT&T and include generals of the military. They don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check is, either of them. After I've been asking for over a decade and I have yet to get that first 9/11 Flight 93 check, yeah, they're involved or they're incompetent. Especially with the generals, we don't need them being incompetent in leading men and women. Post.
See a helicopter? 9/11 Flight 93. Check in, post in 5. Plane or a helicopter. Make that video of America's hijacked lifelines. I've been asking for over a decade for that first 9/11 Flight 93 check, and I've yet to get one. Make that video of whatever you get when you don't get me. 424-229-4140. Certify your mail to me as well. Not one bit of mail about those 93 checks either, and those hijacking your calls to me are worried enough about their crimes that AT&T and Spectrum are hip deep in. Worried enough about their crimes to all their phone records covered up. So call up AT&T's executives, call up generals. If they don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check is after a decade of imagery and videos, they're involved or they're incompetent. Ask them which it is.
Hear a siren. 9/11 Flight 93 check and post in 5. I'm Melton, John Melton Brady, and I've been asking for 9/11 Flight 93 checks. That's you picking up your phone knowing it works all the time. Because you can reach me by phone right now. And I've yet to get one in over a decade of asking. No certified mail about those 93 checks. I'm not getting one either. You're going to certify your mail, use FedEx or UPS. Make a video of it first. And yes, there's my address right down there at the bottom. Remember to call up AT&T. And whole lot of generals. Ask them, what do you know about this? When else will my phone not be allowed to work? If they don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check is after a decade of me asking, they are involved or they're incompetent. Get that on video. Because the phones and the generals, we don't need them being incompetent. We need to replace them, and yes, if they are involved, yeah, it's called treason. It's called compromising the security of America. So get all of them weighing in. Which are you? Remember, when you hear a siren, 9/11 Flight 93 check and post in 5. Don't forget to do that in front of Spectrum. Tom Rutledge, as well as generals of the military. Why is Spectrum conducting harassment of a man in a wheelchair? They keep showing me that they can turn off that noise that backs up and is decibel law breaking, but they don't. So call up Spectrum's Tom Rutledge and ask him, what's your part in America's hijacked lifelines? When else will my family's lifeline not be allowed to work because of what you're actively taking apart in? And also do that for the generals. If they don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check is after I've been asking for over a decade, they're involved or they're incompetent. Here's siren, 9/11 Flight 93 check and post in 5. Make a video of America's hijacked lifelines. Those stealing your calls to me are worried enough about their crimes to alter phone records, cover them up. Get that on video. Timestamp on your phone, number dialed. Put the numbers of AT&T execs and generals, colonels on the backs of those files. Call them up and you say it doesn't matter that the phone records get altered. I've got it on video in general. AT&T executive. What's your part in PhoneGate? In that business you're in. PhoneGate compromises America's security and family security. What's your part in that? Get the reaction post to dangerously hijacked lifelines. Every time you hear that siren, tell somebody to Flight 93 check and post in 5. Hand them that 5 with the numbers on the back. And this is my photos of my folders I'm making a video of. That finally started, I could turn it, change the flicker setting to public. Past several days it has not been allowed been allowed to do that, and for about a week, I think, before that, it was not backing up my videos. It's more than about on the phone long enough to be backed up as it has before. Call Dan McCaskill of Flickr and all of their employees and ask him, what's your part in America's hijacked lifelines? What are you covering up? When else would my family's lifeline not be allowed to work because of what you are doing? Post. Here's Siren, 911 Flight 93, checking posting 5. You want to know why America's lifelines are being hijacked? You got the timestamp on your phone, you got the number dialed, my number, 424-229-4140. I'm in the middle of my dinner. And you can call up generals, ask them, why has this man not gotten a 9/11 Flight 93 check of America's lifelines in over a decade, and what's your part in hiding the truth about America's hijacked lifelines? Oh, certify your mail as well to me, 4260 Eagle Rock Boulevard, Apartment 409, Los Angeles, California, 90065. Melton, John Melton Brady's the full name. Use FedEx, UPS. And ask the general what happens to that mail. What's your part in that? See a helicopter? 911 Flight 93, checking posting 5. You're trying to call me? Melton. John Melton Brady, and you want to know why America's lifelines are being hijacked when you do and when else? Political, religious, and business censorship affects America's lifelines, America's security. Put the numbers of AT&T's executives on the backs of these 5s. Tell all of America to try to call me Melton with them on speakerphone. You got the timestamp on your phone, you got the number dialed, and tell the executives. Doesn't matter how many phone records you alter, America has the timestamp on your phone number dialed. They got AT&T's phone gate on video. Here's Siren, 911 Flight 93, checking posting 5. You're trying to call me Melton, John Melton Brady. You want to know why America's lifelines are being hijacked when you do? That compromises our security. Put the numbers of AT&T's executives on the backs of these 5s and generals as well. Colonels, call them up. They don't know about me and a decade worth of asking for 9/11 Flight 93 checks without getting one. They're involved, they're incompetent. Either way, we need new folks in their boots, in their suits. All soldiers, you protect America. Protect America from that threat from within. That it's hijacking our lifelines. And yes, when you have Randall Stevenson on speakerphone, you're trying to call me, explain to him it doesn't matter how many phone records you alter, I've got the timestamp on your phone number dial. See a helicopter, 9/11 Flight 93, checking posting in 5. Oh yes, he does have Semper Fi in the window. He is dark. And I'm eating. But, yeah. See a helicopter, 9/11 Flight 93, checking posting in 5. Here is Siren, 9/11 Flight 93, checking posting in 5. And do you think you can't do some house cleaning of the military? Well needed for our protection as a nation. You put the numbers of 5 of generals and AT&T executives, but generals for this video, on the backs of 5s. You call them up via speakerphone, generals, colonels, any officers. You see them in person, you ask them too. Or have one of these with their numbers on the back too. Hand to them as you try to call me in front of them and ask What do you know about John Melton Brady not getting one 9/11 Flight 93 check in over a decade as military-style harassment techniques are used against him with AT&T next door with Spectrum and the Mormon cult folks in the apartment below? Whatever they got, whatever answer, you get it posted. Hear the siren. 9/11 Flight 93 check. Make a video right now of your hijack call to me. Melton, Stone Cold Melton, John Melton Brady is the full name. Make that video, whatever you get right now, and yes, put the numbers of generals, colonels, and AT&T executives on the backs of these files. Hand them out in bulk. They don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check is when you call them up. Educate them. Try to call me with your wife, your friends, neighbors, Lifeline, and tell them you're making a video of that. Timestamp on your phone number dialed, and it doesn't matter if you alter the phone record. America has PhoneGate on their videos. Yeah, what's your part in that, General? We are at one of Trump's press conferences, and a reporter says, I've been trying to call Melton for years. I've been asking for 9/11 Flight 93 checks of America's lifelines for over 10 years, over a decade. And I've yet to get one. Reporter goes on to say, we wouldn't be legitimate reporters if we hadn't made that video of PhoneGate. Timestamp on your phone, number dialed, whoever's in the room there with you, make a video of their family's lifeline not working. Gonna be boring, censorship often is. Phone ringing, error message, busy signal. Gonna be boring? It's not gonna be boring if you need firemen, police, paramedics, and you're getting that boring thing. So make a video of PhoneGate. Those stealing your calls to me are worried enough about their crimes to alter phone records to cover them up. Have Hussein's, Trump's, the Mormons, and the generals PhoneGate on video. The reporter goes on to say, we all know our lifelines are hijacked. AT&T's active part in America's hijacked lifelines. Call up the generals, call up the AT&T executives, Randall Stevenson on down, CEO. Put their numbers on the backs of their files and hand them out at church, at work, at school, wherever. And tell them, make a video of you trying to call Melton. With them on speakerphone, in front of them personally, and say, when else will my phone not be allowed to work? What's your part in that? If the generals or AT&T executives don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check is, that's you picking up your phone trying to call me. Knowing that it works all the time because you can reach me. If they don't know in their business of phone monopoly or being a general, they are involved or they are incompetent. So get that on video. The reporter says, yeah, we all know about our hijacked lifelines, but I've also certified mail to Melton and use FedEx and UPS, and it doesn't reach them. I want to know where all that stolen mail goes. Is it in one big centralized warehouse? Or a whole bunch of little warehouses all over the country? And Trump looks around and says, I don't know anything about that. General, do you know anything about that? Everybody looks over to the general. And the general says, oh, no, I don't know anything about that. Colonel South, do you know anything about that? Everybody turns to look at Colonel South, and he just takes off running. Right through the reporters, having the press conference right out there on the lawn. And that satchel on his, the latch on his briefcase opens up, and a whole lot of letters spill out of that satchel, that briefcase, in between all of those reporters as he runs to his car. Well, that's AT&T. Spectrum next door. Their active participation, wherever they are the loudest in your neck of the woods, where they are conducting political, religious, and business censorship, harassment, military-style harassment techniques. Look for it, use that decimal meter, and make a video of your hijack call to me. 150 million subscribers AT&T has. So you ask them, when else is your phone not going to be allowed to work for political, religious, and business censorship reasons? What's their active part in that? Same with the generals. And yes, the reporters pick up my mail, all of America's mail, to me that has been stolen. Make that video of your mail to me before you send it. It is going to be stolen. I don't get it. You don't see a big truck parking outside of this apartment complex and wheeling in bags and bags of mail. It is our hijacked lifelines. Get it on video. And yes, all of this will be paged, hopefully, and hopefully it will stay in my 4x6 photos that you can find at least one link that works to the Google Drive, I'm thinking, that have my latest vote-truth.blogspot.com, one site, one place you can check. Oh, ask around. I'm sure a lot of folks have the new fives, one for AT&T, one for the General. I designed the front. You go ahead and put the numbers of the generals and AT&T executives, Trump's number perhaps, on the backs of the fives. Call them up. All soldiers, you protect America. Excuse me. I'm a handsome bald guy. I have trouble doing two things at once. You protect America, all soldiers. Make that video of America's hijacked lifelines. Call me from the military base. Make that video of the military base's phone. Been hijacked as you try to call me. Timestamp on the phone, number dialed. See that phone? You're making a video of wherever you might be making a video of it. All across America and beyond. As every child in America's lifeline, to the firemen, police, paramedics, as your mom's lifeline, as your granddaughter's lifeline, as your neighbor's lifeline. Make that video what you get when you don't get me. Post. We the people must be the reporters. They're not doing their jobs. Maybe some are a whole lot of them perhaps have made that video of whatever they get when they don't get me, just in case. But we need them to step up and be reporters. And yes, we the people must be reporters. Make that video whatever you get when you don't get me. Unless you want future Hussein placing, cowardly Hussein placing after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins. Didn't look right. Oh no, I'm not a fan of the Oriental Russian guy they got in there now. He's building the Great Wall of China. Next he'll be putting up pyramids. Truth is my favorite. So make that video whatever you get when you don't get me. And certify that mail, make a video of it first. It takes a little longer, but yeah, it's worth it. You can say that crook Trump, that crook Hussein, that crook the general stole my mail. I do that. Oh, let me put it. Why was I waiting 9 minutes? Colonel South is in a warehouse with a whole bunch of stolen mail, and he's got Private Harry. He says, Private Harry, I want you to watch this stuff. Make sure no one comes in and photographs it. Makes a video of it. We're going to dispose of it tomorrow. And so Private Harry sits down on one of those pallets. After a while, one of the packages starts to ring. It's a phone inside. And Private Harry opens, he's curious that they're going to destroy the stuff tomorrow. All that evidence. So he opens up the package, and yes, it's a phone, and it's a jack. And he says, what are you doing stealing my mail? Well, I guess first he would say, is this MELTON? And Private Harry says, no. And he says, what are you doing stealing my mail? And Private Harry says, well, I don't know about that. You're going to have to talk to Colonel South.